Welcome to the Grow in Sahuarita podcast, where we talk about all things to growing your business in Sahuarita. Enjoy this episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Grow in Sahuarita podcast. I'm Alex Magallanes, Economic Development Specialist for the town of Sahuarita and the lead for the Grow in Sahuarita program. Today's episode is one I'm really excited about because we're diving into something that so many entrepreneurs struggle with, and that's trying to run the entire business from memory. One of the most common things we see when working with local entrepreneurs through our one-on-one coaching or coachings is that they carry everything in their head: their customers, their pricing, marketing ideas, sometimes operations, all of it. And while that may work sometimes, it eventually becomes very overwhelming because it makes it harder to grow intentionally. So today we're going to talk about how to get your business out of your head and onto one page, 2 pages, 3 pages, who knows? The key here is to look or find a simple way to actually see your business and then be able to work on it and make better decisions. And to help us with this, today I am joined by someone who works directly with our entrepreneurs every day, our very own Grow in Sahuarita business coach, Stephanie Bermudez. Stephanie, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much, Alex, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. So it's been, already over a year that you've been serving and helping as a business coach with the program. So how's that going? How's been that experience for you?
Well, good times always seem to go by quicker than bad times.
Absolutely.
And it's gone really quick. I can't believe that already for a whole year, I've been involved with the Grow in Sahuarita program. It's been a real treat.
Definitely.
Usually, when I'm not working for the Grow in Sahuarita program, you can find me all throughout other Southern Arizona and Northern Sonora offering similar services, helping with one-on-one business coaching and doing small business workshops and events with Startup Unidos. So it's been a pleasure to focus on the town of Sahuarita, and I'm excited to be a part of the team.
And we are very thankful that you're here with us. If you want to learn anything more about Stephanie, you definitely want to look up Startup Unidos. One of the things that we love about Stephanie is that she has a lot of cross-border relationships. And so she brings a lot of value on both sides of the border. And we see that as valuable because sometimes our entrepreneurs, they may want to explore other areas for expansion and what have you. The other piece too is that if you ever have hopped on one of our monthly webinars, Stephanie, she's the one carrying that. She's the one, basically the face of every monthly webinar. And she brings something very special to the team, which is bringing AI tools for small business owners. And so since March, since you jumped on board, you've been doing these monthly webinars and then bringing tools for that entrepreneurs can use. And so it's been definitely a fun ride, and just to see entrepreneurs learn AI too.
It's been a real treat to work with such an incredible team here at the town and to lead with AI at a time where it's so important for our small businesses.
Yeah. So for today's topic, getting it out of your head. I love that intro because it's true, right? A lot of entrepreneurs, we get to sit down with a lot of them on a one-on-one basis, and we see their wonderful ideas. They have amazing stories on how they came up with their business idea. But oftentimes we see that, and we notice that it's all in their head, right? On top of all the other things that they have to carry. And so what's the biggest challenge you see entrepreneurs facing when they're trying to grow their business?
There's so much up there that entrepreneurs are trying to do it all at once, right? It's kind of hard to find that clarity or lack of clarity. Things could so oftentimes feel confusing, and we might find ourselves paralyzed or slowed down from being able to make any major decisions. Like that buzz is there because there's just so much to do and we don't know where to get started. and we have a limited capacity in our head. And the more we cram those things with things I should do, or even worse, things I could never do, we paralyze ourselves, and we're limiting the capacity of what we have in our minds to do creative work, to get it done.
I love that you are using that word, creative work. A lot of entrepreneurship has to do with being creative. That's what makes an entrepreneur, right? Is bringing new ideas. And so I'm a strong believer that there's such a thing as paralysis analysis, right? Where we have so many ideas, or entrepreneurs have so many ideas, and they're all good. But once we start digging into all the details, whether they're logistical details or other things, that's where people can paralyze, and then those amazing ideas, they come to a stall and nothing happens. And so now, in that same line of thought, right? What it actually means to get your business out of your head and onto a page.
I actually like coming across an entrepreneur that's in that I feel overwhelmed and I'm stuck kind of situation that you were talking about, because the business model canvas is a great tool to get your business out of your head and onto one page. So typically when people think of business modeling, they might think of a business plan that's really involved. Traditionally, it's multiple pages, although there are leaner versions to unfold a business plan. This has similar components to a business plan, but it's a business model. And it's really intended to be a fast way of being able to experiment and get those things out of your head quickly onto one page. And what it does for you is it opens up more capacity in your mind to actually be able to feel, trust, and gain the confidence to do it and get things done.
The other thing too that I love about the business model canvas, it does give you that snapshot of like your business, right? So being able to get it out of our heads, whatever that looks like, and then putting it on paper. And then it gives you that snapshot where you kind of step out of the picture, and then instead of being so, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe so involved in the details, you're able to see the big picture. And that's good sometimes, right? Because entrepreneurs are, as small business owners, they're involved on the day-to-day operations of their business. And so there's a lot of things that go into play and a lot of details. But when you're able to just like step out for a little bit, put it all on one paper, and then see the big picture, there's several things that can happen. People can see, I'm missing X, Y, and Z, or, I didn't see that there's an opportunity for another revenue stream, or maybe this revenue stream is not working. So there's different things. So I love that about put it all on paper, get it out of your head, put it on paper using this tool of the business model canvas. Now, you've been doing this since 2014. And how has your approach evolved to make it more accessible to entrepreneurs?
Sure. So my very first example of the business model canvas was the Strategizer canvas.
Oh, yes.
And it's highly academic, and I think that there's a lot of vulnerability when you're at a stage of not having it all figured out yet, but perhaps already being an expert or being really good at your trade, but not having that confidence yet of you being like a business person, accepting that part that you're not just a technician, you're also an owner and you're able and capable. So I felt like when people showed up with that vulnerability, it was harder for them to then absorb, like they felt maybe like the original was more like taking a test, like they should have the answer because of its academic approach.
Yeah.
So even when I started using the business canvas at first, I had to apply it several times before I started getting it. But when I became trauma informed, I started becoming more inspired, and I had the ability to respond to some of the challenges that I was seeing with people using the original tool, that I decided to revise it to bring down the barriers that I saw, that people felt like, I can't do this. I don't know all this. I don't have the answers to all this. When truly, Alex, the simplicity that you said, like when people do show up and they apply themselves and they can see what they actually have inside their head onto one visible page, it makes them feel accomplished. So the outcome, if you can, when you go through the business model in Canvas, you feel liberated, you feel seen, you feel like things click, like it's all there. Like you stare at it almost for like 30 minutes after just feeling really good about what you did, shuffling through your mind, asking yourself, is there anything that I missed? Is there anything more that I can add to it? And it's a sense of relief. But since 2014, when I was inspired by it to when I do now, I do things differently. It wasn't from where I started. And I like the outcomes that the business model Canvas has for people.
So I mean, this is great because you do talk a lot about rapid experimentation and using tools to kind of hop on that train of rapid experimentation. So what does that look like in practice or in practical ways with an entrepreneur?
When somebody's starting a business, there are more unknowns than knowns. We might be really good about what it is that we have to offer, but perhaps we don't have all of our partnerships figured out. Perhaps we're not entirely clear about all the different ways that we could be earning revenue. There are still more things that are unknown that we need to guesstimate, right, to get things through. Because really, when we open the doors is really when we'll be able to like see what comes up the woodwork per se, right? But before then, you can't really have it all in your head, and you also can't really have it all on one page. You got to get out of the room and you got to try this stuff. So the rapid part of this experimentation is the experimental part of it is that you don't know. There's a lot of things that still need to happen for us to really, truly find a product market fit or a service to market fit.
Right.
So really the first steps are to get it out of your head. And then after that is to quickly then go out and almost try to debunk what it was that you're assuming or to prove it, right? Or unprove it so that there's a lesser chance of you hitting a wall or failing, right? For your business, because you were able to beforehand, before you go out and you sell, you plan to sell 25, you make sure that you can sell 2 and that you can sell 2 regularly and that you face those chances, those mishaps, or that you gain those opportunities on a lean scale so that you have something more reliable and sustainable to grow with, or you keep yourself from being able to fail sooner.
Okay. So in a recap, right, basically the model you're explaining right now is, let's put it out of your head, right? Let's get it out of your head, put it on paper, right? And then, look at it, see how it feels. Obviously, you're going to feel seen, you're going to feel validated because now you can see it in front of you, and then go out there and experiment.
That's right. So then go out there and see if you haven't made your first sale, try to make your first sale. If you're assuming that there's a unique partnership there that could help you push your idea, go and explore that partnership, right?
Yeah.
And the way that the model is made, it's that it's quick. It's done on Post-it notes with quick key phrases so that it's adjustable. Unlike a traditional business plan where you might get locked in on the 45th page. This is all on one page on one Post-it note. And there's something amazing about being able to validate what you see or just pulling it off and crushing it and replacing it with something that's true. It makes things a lot easier.
I love that. I think, it's an easy way to, that's my idea. I guess it's another way an easy way to test the business idea, right? And so if we think of the business model Canvas, there's, in this worksheet, if you will, there's like boxes like channels or client relationships. How are you going to maintain those? And we may have an idea and we put it on paper, right? On those sticky notes, as you mentioned. And then we go out there, we try to do rapid experimentation, and then we find out that the channels that we chose are probably not. And so this gives you that, this is not working. And one thing that I love about this is that it allows the entrepreneur to rectify, pivot without spending so much money.
That's right.
Because you're able to, instead of committing the same mistake and expecting a different outcome, right? You're able to see the mistake for what it is, rectify it, correct it, pivot, and then move forward. And in this way, and you spend less money, especially for those of you who are listening and you're like, yeah, I'd rather do everything very grassroots, very organic, which personally, I'm a very big fan of that because it's possible. We've seen tons of stories of people to start, business out of their garage, super grassroots, and then they make it happen. But what Stephanie is talking about here, the rapid experimentation, it's key. And so for someone who is listening right now, Stephanie, who feels right now stuck, perhaps they feel a little bit overwhelmed, what is the first step that you believe that they should take in this aspect?
I think it's a mindset shift, less action and more clarity, I think. So keep moving, but also realize that moving doesn't mean that you won't adjust. Starting doesn't mean that you have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Start messy. Don't wait to be perfect. And share it. Share what it is that you have in your head. Don't keep it bottled in. And the sooner you can test it so that you can replace it with actual ideas that you know are fit, you're going to gain more confidence and you're going to feel more successful moving things forward. So just do it.
Wow. Not that we're sponsored by any any brands, but I love that. Just do it. Experiment. Get out there, guys, and experiment. The one thing, though, is that people don't have to do it alone, right? And that's why the existence of this program, the Grow in Sahuarita program, and that's why we bring on board coaches like Stephanie and myself, because you don't have to do it alone. So you can go ahead and, get the idea out of your head, put it on a one page. Let's do some rapid experimentation. You don't have to do it alone. You can get guidance. And so that's why we created this program that is at no cost to you, for those of you who are listening. And so, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your insight. I think, again, one of the biggest takeaways from this conversation is really clarity creates momentum, and that clarity can be gained through just putting it out on paper. Any last thoughts or, advice, recommendations that you could give to our listeners?
Yeah, it's a lot easier than what you think. It's, scheduling for a business modeling session is a really feel-good session. You don't have to do anything to show up. You don't have to come prepared with anything. It's already in your head. It really just is a downloading process. It's in person, and we're right here to hold your hand with it. So I'm going to double down and say, sign up. We're here for you.
Absolutely. So there you go, guys. If you heard Stephanie. So if you are a small business owner here in Sahuarita and you like to get some help working through your business model, connecting with a coach like Stephanie, or accessing resources, please reach out to us at grow@sahuaritaaz.gov. And once again, you can go to our website and sign up for your first session. Thank you for tuning in to the Grow in Sahuarita podcast. Until next time.